did this in 12 days for, can I tell them how much?
Yes, no.
Way under $1 million, okay? But nah, it's all good because it was a story that I knew they were taking a shot at doing. And I knew that I had my homie Bruce Cone with me. You know, we was gonna knock it out, right? But that scene when we threw that alcohol, we didn't have a lot of time to shoot it. Like, our day was almost over. She had to be extremely emotional, and we had to figure it out, like, at the last minute. And Lance and Mama, they dropped in so deep because our producer at Swirl, you know, he's that guy that's like riding you at the end of the day, like, come on, you got one more shot, you got one more shot. I was like, hold up, don't tell me how many shots I got. Wait, go ahead.
First of all, you wanted to put her on fire for real.
I did. She sure did. I wanted to burn her.
And I was ready to do it too. All right, so what do we have to put on my body?
You know what? So offensively,
I know.
have it underneath the jeans.
that's what really happened. I mean, unfortunately, he really did set her on fire.
And I definitely wanted to set her on fire, okay? But I'm not gonna tell y'all why we couldn't set her on fire, sure. But anyway, I was like, Mama, if you get burned, you're on your own, baby, okay? We said, nah, we ain't gonna burn her. We just gonna threaten to burn her. But it was a very hard scene, guys. You know, the producer was like, hey, we got one shot. And I was like, we don't have one shot. Just don't tell me I got one shot. And I ran over to Bruce. I said, Bruce, they said we got one shot. What we gonna do? Bruce was like, look, ask him how many minutes we got. I said, damn, you smart. And I went over there like it was me. I said, hey, how many minutes we got left, damn it? He was like, 30 minutes. I ran to Bruce, we got 30 minutes. We got like the whole scene, all the shots, all the coverage done. And that was the irony that Mama was in there, okay? And that Lance was in it. He had one take of that moment when he had her up in the corner.
Just one take. That is a testament to how well we work, because you go on movie sets nowadays and they're taking a half a day to shoot something like that, maybe a full day.
Absolutely, and those are the type of films that I would like to do moving forward. Just putting that out there, because you know I've done the training. I mean, as you can see throughout days, I can do this.
But you guys, can we give it up for Lance and Little Mama though? Didn't they do a great job?
Thank you.
I'm so proud of them. I mean, Mama worked every single day. Every day she worked. And every day she was willing to be as vulnerable as I needed her to be in order to show the vulnerability and passion of Felicia Blakely. So I'm very thankful and very proud. And I'm very grateful for all of y'all. Like, honestly, I'm like, I see some people, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared to come up here. Thank you guys so much for coming and supporting. We love you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. And I think
It's
that's
important that you talk about support. Make sure you hashtag when love kills.
God,
Please, when you
You
send the
guys,
message
yes.
out, because it's very important. Because here's the thing. We in this room know that we enjoyed this movie, that it exceeded expectations, and that this is something that everyone should see. So now we need to let the world know. And so please just hashtag it. It's a simple thing. A little bit of social media will make one person watch, and that'll get those numbers. And those numbers are also important. Also important.
Yes,
absolutely.
D'Angelo,
I was going to say the same thing I was going to say that.
I say I read your. I know the executive being you. Now you two formed a great team. What is it like when you find the perfect DP, and how did it work for you?
What is it like? Well, I'll say this.
I'm talking about the DP. You can shoot something in 30 minutes. You
Right.
can shoot a whole scene in 30
I
minutes.
fell in love with him when he was willing to sit in a room with me 16, 17, 18 hours a day and break down every piece of that script. I mean, we spent a lot of time together prepping, and I appreciated his time that he was willing to go as hard as I wanted to go. You know what I mean? Because some DPs don't want to give you that energy and that time, and we sat down and we worked, right?
We did.
Yeah.
I just think overall, like, we all got into a sort of synchronicity. I mean, the actors, Mama, and I mean, even my dolly grips, the lighting. I was just actually in a break room explaining to Mama here about the scene that,
The scene in the room, when she came in from getting the headbutt.
Yeah.
After the headbutt scene.
So that whole scene is lit in yellow light, and I know nobody else probably knew, but at the time, that decision came out of an instinctual decision of the color yellow being caution. And there's so many moments like that throughout the film that me as a cinematographer, I had to channel what the intention was coming from the actors versus Tasha versus what we wanted you guys to feel. Yeah, just creating the whole mise en scene. So in order to get there, like, I got so much energy from Tasha, Lance and Mama and everybody. So it was a great experience.
I'll tell y'all this, we came up with the word for every scene. Like that's our secret.
Don't give away your secrets. You give away your
That's our
secrets.
secret, y'all.
Take her mic before she
It
tells
cost,
us.
it was a lot of years to come up with that.
Yeah, we did a lot of work, so other than that, bye. No.
All right, real quick, we're gonna take a couple questions real quick. We'll take a couple questions before we let everybody go. Yes, sir.
So, my name is Major, beautiful.
You do not need a microphone.
You sure don't.
I want to thank TV1, the cast, everyone involved, for giving, from an audience standpoint, a refreshing piece of art. Because I was like, okay, I really hope this one, quality-wise, exceeds, because we need things that push forward the culture, to represent us, especially in a time that's so tense right now, to really represent the excellence of where we come from. And I thank you guys for pushing that envelope. TV1, salute to y'all. To the cast, brilliant. Thank you.
Lonnie, you gotta stand up. Don't sit there. Come on, Lonnie, you gotta stand up. Cass, is that you? Is that you?
We saw him drive away, but no, it was written where he drove away,
Yeah, we didn't
right?
shoot that.
But we didn't have time, so.
She's talking about the gun going from
Oh, what you
From
talking about
it too.
Dino?
Yeah.
You thought she killed Dino?
yeah, the gun going from it too. Yeah.
The other guy, right. That was in the script. That was Cass. Cass wrote that. And we should have.
Cass, hold on, you can answer that.
That was in the script.
No.
No, it's a long process. I mean, there were lots that happened, but it was written in the script like that because I wanted everybody to wonder. Because the logical choice is kill it. His back is turned. But it's just that element of surprise. And actually, she had so many moments where she thought about it, but she couldn't. Like she said, when he looked at her, it didn't make sense for her to kill him. It made sense to do what he asked her to do.
By the way, he is in jail right now, right? Correct? Or is he out? Is he out? He's out?
Well, he went to jail for something else.
Right.
He's out from that.
He's out of jail right now. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I saw another hand. Yes, ma'am.
Oh no, prior to doing the role, I hadn't spoken to Felicia. Cass had emails that came from Felicia that she would share with Tasha and us, the cast, about how she felt about it being done, and she was happy that the movie was being done because it could help young women. And that's part of the reason why I took on the role, because after being fearful of doing it, I realized that it's a form of ministry to be able to become a character and then be able to explain it to young women, and help them to know the power in their choices and to prevent young women from ending up in situations like these. So that was what I saw in doing the role, and to get her approval, it made me feel even more comfortable in doing it.
All right. Yes, sir.
Will the real Felicia be able to see the film?
They're working on it right now.
She on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Oh, no, lay over here. Then I'll get to you. Okay.
Was the real relationship with Alicia and her mom more volatile than what was in the film?
Cass.
Yes, it wasn't more. It was about, her mother was just a negligent mother. She wasn't there. She had her at 15 or 16, and she actually did send her to go live with her grandmother. So it wasn't physically abusive, but she took care of her mom. It was just one of those relationships where the mom is just not present. So it's more of that relationship. But they have a great relationship now. And unfortunately, it was after she was sentenced, but she has been there, and in real life, Alicia has a son, and the mother is raising her son.
All right, 2 more. All the way in the back. I like that. Go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to say, Tasha, you did an excellent job. I've been watching you when you did TLC. My name is Mark Houston. I've been with you. That's my story. Lance Rose, phenomenal actor. I'd like to ask you, what camera package you use in the lens? In the lens.
What camera?
I guess we're getting technical.
Somebody trying to steal some secrets in here. If y'all ain't done that movie that quick, I need that camera package.
Here's the interesting thing is, I mean, anyone who knows anything about filmmaking knows at the end of the day, they're all just tools. What me and Tasha did in the room, I'll tell you, what me and Tasha did in the room for those 3 days, that's what counted. Like understanding the script, like so many people going to making a movie and they just think about the standard way of covering the scenes, and our whole approach was opposite. It was to understand what we were trying to say, and therefore, hopefully that just resonated beyond just a lens package and a camera. But yes, we shot with Swirl's camera package, which is a Alexa with a set of Zeiss super speeds, and if you want to find me after the show, I can tell you more about that stuff.
But it's not the cameras, it's the people.
Absolutely.
The people. Got a question over here. Yes, sir. Yeah, you do notice that immediately. I do want to say that that's the first thing you notice, yeah. No, 12. 12, but still, 12 is 12's not a lot of time if you've ever been on a movie set. Right. That's what he's asking. Asking about the chaos of shooting in 12 days. And I think a lot of that goes back to your plan.
Again, it was just me and Tasha in a room for 3 days. A lot of people just can't sit in a room with someone for, 12, 16, 17 hours a day. I mean, me and Tasha, we literally sat in that room and it was therapy for both of us. We related to the subject matter. We knew that this woman was still alive. We had a duty to her story, whether or not you saw her as a vicious human being or whether you saw her as a broken young girl. Like, we knew that there was a story. At the same time, there were people in my life that I knew that could relate to this story. So literally, to answer your question, it's all about the prep. It's all about the process and the work. The same kind of work that Mama did and Lance did with Tasha. It's really about that. I mean, once you do that, everything else just pours out of your skin. It's so easy to just become creative once you know what you're trying to say. So.
And can I say something too? I think that our prep work is what connected us, even to this day. We spent so much time together working through the script and the.
What's that?
Awesome. Let me just tell you. I mean, it was a very random opportunity. Like Floyd, we were talking, because you guys know about T-Saw, my acting school, right? So you know a lot of people I work with, right? T-Saw. And so Floyd called me up and was like, hey, he wanted to do some coaching. And I was like, well, I'm directing a movie in Atlanta. He's like, I'll come to Atlanta. I was like, okay, shoot, come to Atlanta then. And then I hung up and I'm like, ooh, I got this roll of punch. Ooh. I was like, let me see if we can get, it wasn't punch, what? I was like, well, damn it. I said, I called y'all and the people at TV One. I said, yo, I think I want to ask Floyd Mayweather, let me see what he gonna do. I called him up. He was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. I said, lies, stop it. You gonna do it, And he did it, and I don't know that anyone believed. Did you believe he was coming, Eric and Keith? Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
great.
The
Well, let me
talent
tell you
was
all
for
about
him.
Bruce real quick, though.
I hope he came because we worked the whole floor.